Hello there in comic book land. It is Thursday night, and I'm going to be doing my comic reviews just because I came home early from work due to not feeling well. It's a very, very rare thing for me, and I had a chance to finish reading everything, so I figured I'd get my reviews up. These were two blind buys. Well, not blind buys, but stuff that I wanted to pick up earlier and couldn't due to lack of funds, so I picked them up today. Or is it Terminator Sector War, Volumes 1 and 2. Yeah. This is basically Terminator told solely from Linda Hamilton's point of view, even though it's not Linda Hamilton and Arnold. It is a female cop who is just getting off duty and is told that there is a domestic violence call in her building. And so she takes a cop car home. And it's her boyfriend that she's having issues with, and she breaks up with him. And you see a Terminator arrive. And this, as you can see here, is a Terminator who is more like what they originally wanted Schwarzenegger, wanted the Terminator to look like in the original movie. A guy who could blend in, be an everyman before Arnold, so that he wanted to play the bad guy. And so it turns out that this Terminator is going after, her name is Montoya or something like that. It's set in the year 1984, by the way, same year as Terminator. And he basically just says it's because she is the mother of a member of the resistance, and turns out that he goes after her ex because he's the father. So you don't really see why why this kid is important. But it's basically, you don't have anyone protecting her. It's just her and her running from this Terminator. It's, Terminator without the people that we, like. So I'm going to give this a 2 out of 5, and I'm not going to get the next ones. You have Typhoid Fever SpiderMan. I knew absolutely nothing about typhoid fever, the character, Typhoid Mary. Before this, I still really don't know much about her. In fact, I liked this so little I didn't even finish. It's not that the story was badly written. It's just I found the character boring and what was going on boring. So I didn't finish reading it. 2 out of 5. Magneto Black, or X-Men Black Magneto. The Return of Claremont. I expected this to be much better than it was, because it's Claremont. I think what they're doing is setting up for the new Uncanny X-Men series. You have Eric Leshner in a diner, and he just in some little podunk little town, the edge of a podunk little town, so it's podunk in podunk, where he meets this young girl whose family has been running this restaurant, this diner forever, and he befriends her, gets in an altercation with some, evil, white males who hate mutants and yada yada yada. And it turns out that he's there to free people from a mutant detention center, which sounds an awful lot like the modern day thing that's going on, and takes them away to be under his protection. It wasn't as good as I thought it'd be, just due to stuff. 2.5 out of 5. The Walking Dead, number 184. Now this is dealing with where the last one left off, with the riot in the Commonwealth, and Michonne being with her daughter and being the lawyer, and she has to help solve certain problems and defend the people involved, including the head guard. Pretty good. Though there is some stuff brewing at the end, which I don't want to bring up. But I think there's going to be some shit going down here. I'm going to give this a 3.25 out of 5. Because it wasn't as good as it has been lately, but it's leaving for something better. Die, number 3. It says here, mature readers, which I guess means that I shouldn't be able to read it. I like this series. I really do basically like this old lady. She doesn't put up with anyone's shit. And I do sort of like this character right here. He's an interesting thing. But the part I love best is the thing dealing with one of the 3 brothers posing as his other brother. It's a weird story. If you haven't been reading it, read it. It's got political intrigue. It's got covert ops. It's got action. It's got all sorts of fun. It's fun. I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. Juke Joint number 1. Actually, no, hold on. Redlands number 7. This is a long time coming. They had number 6 a while ago, and I wasn't sure if they were going to continue with this. But I guess it's one of those things like Black Magic where they do an arc, then there's stuff that stops, and then they pick it up later. So I've kind of forgotten some of the stuff that's going on, but this is a new arc going on. They're still dealing with some of the after effects of the stuff from before. And I really should read the first 6 issues again to see what's going on, to refresh myself. But it is... I think there's some bigger things coming up because they introduced a new character, and they're setting up something big, I can tell. And it's gonna start some shit. And I know I just said that in the last one, but yeah, it's also this time of year for this type of stuff. I'm gonna get a 3.75 out of 5. Justice League number 9. This is just basically a filler episode where they're dealing with things from the last arc, and it's like one of the one episode, one issue between one arc and another. There are things they're dealing with from the last one, but they're also, haven't really started stuff up. You have people setting up their houses, so to speak, inside the Justice League. You get to see where Aquaman lives. You get to see where a couple other people live. You have the lunchroom. You have him missing a burger joint in Detroit. You have Flash running and picking it up for him. It's, not bad as a filler episode issue. 3.75 out of 5. Juke Joint number 1. The one big issue I have with this, and I did a video on it yesterday, and you may or may not have seen it, is you open it up. The first thing you see, and I've never seen this before, is somebody putting a huge page on here, trigger warning. And yes, they're talking about how there's sexual harassment, domestic violence, and stuff like that in there. I'm not belittling that stuff. But, just look at the cover here. Look at the cover. You're going to be in for some pretty weird shit by looking at the cover. And so, there's probably going to be some, rough stuff in there just by the cover. So do you really need to put a trigger warning page on here inside? It seems a little ridiculous to me. But this is an interesting story. It looks like it's in almost like Prohibition era South with, it's a little club called the Juke Joint. We're just about, well, I can't show that because it's kind of rough there. Where just about anything can happen. Your desires can be satiated, whatever type they are. And you can't touch people. There's a thing here that says, keep your hands to yourself. And if you don't, you are asked. There are people there that will escort you out, and then certain things happen to you. There's a proprietor there. This woman right here, I think she's the one that's in charge, and she's collecting people who have in need of help for certain issues and in the past who haven't been treated well, and protects them. She's been around for a while, so it's I don't know exactly everything that's going on here, which they aren't explaining everything right away, but it has really good possibilities. I'm going to give this a 4.25 out of 5. Batman number 56. This is a continuation of the KGB Beast storyline from last issue where Dick Grayson gets shot. And Batman is going after him. He's in search of him. Fantastic cover. They didn't have the cover B at my store, so I had to get this. I probably would have gotten both. And you have him going after getting information on where KGB Beast is. He's dealing with going to see a bunch of different people to get some information, kind of being a detective. And you also have the Beast talking to his father. So it's going from back and forth between two different stories, which leads up to the cliffhanger. I'm going to give this a 4.25 out of 5. Things have gotten much better lately since the last few issues. Okay, and then the last one for this week is, and look at this cover right here. This is Wonder Woman and Justice League Dark, The Witching Hour, Part 1. I was not expecting, I didn't know what to expect with this. And this was an incredible story. I mean, I think it's like what, $5. Yeah, $5. And this goes into just a whole bunch of history of what's going on, why Wonder Woman has why she should be associated with Justice League Dark, what happened in the last issue of Justice League Dark, or why she was able to do what she did in the last issue of Justice League Dark. There's a bunch of things that happen in this one, and it's going to continue in the next Wonder Woman book. So I think it's going to go, the next Wonder Woman book, and then a couple of other books, and then we'll end in another one of these. This, I'm getting a 4.75 out of 5 because the story is fantastic. The art is really good. It grabs you. It just doesn't let go, and it is awesome. So that, if you're interested in the dark side of DC, the dark magic, the Don Constantine's, the Zatanna type of stuff, the magic, get this. This is a really good series, and the Justice League Dark part is too. But this series is going to rock. So I'm going to give that a 4.75 out of 5. All right, so that's it for this week. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you got anything that I got. And like, subscribe, and share. Thanks. Bye.